next on the list, we have offensive linemen. I think for me, I talk about this every single time. I always preface this. It's got to be the year of the O-lineman for me. I say with us having 2 offensive lineman coaches, we should be just mopping the floor with these kids. A big one that it feels like it's an automatic lock. The kid's from Ponte Vedra, Jake G. I don't want to say his last name either because God forbid
I don't know his last name either.
just get an easy last name, guys. That's my only request for these recruits, if they could just change it for me. But 6'4", 280, obviously, according to our metrics for offensive linemen, a little tiny, okay? It means put on some weight. But the height's there. He's a 3-star according to On3. Obviously, I think he's going to have a great senior year in Ponte Vedra. Pretty high-profile school up here in Northeast Jacksonville. So we can obviously see that number arise. But he's visiting 2 more times. The guy's there every the weekend. It's an easy trip. To me, it seems like an absolute shoe-in, and it could be that first catalyst to that offensive lineman, which excites me. And he's not the only offensive lineman that's excited. He just, like I said, feels like an absolute lock. Swolder? Or Allie, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, these are the guys that have to be automatic, right? These are the guys that have to be a lock. He is 90 minutes from Gainesville, right? He is Florida-born. You're going up against NC State and Florida State. There should be no question about where he goes. And it almost is more of a problem if he doesn't end up on Florida's roster, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that, unless they target somebody else later. I wouldn't assume who that person would be, or I mean, there's so many offers out there right now. You just don't really know where the staff's thinking or now. But I mean, he just visited Tuesday. He's going to visit again this weekend, as you said. That's a good sign right there. He's visited twice in at least 1 week. But it's 6'4", 290. I'm sure he's going to go over 300 pounds before he gets to Florida. But I like it. And I always say this, that offensive line is probably the hardest position to kind of evaluate there. I mean, you see these 5-star, these 4-star guys, but you see a lot of these 3-star offensive linemen going to the NFL. You see a lot of these 4-star guys going to the NFL. I do like the fact that they're bringing in height and size more than kind of like what Coach Hevesy brought in, and we weren't too happy and thrilled with what Coach Hevesy was doing there. So the offensive line recruiting's already had an improvement already, and getting a guy like this in, I'm not opposed to it at all. And especially, like you said, this could be the catalyst to open up more offensive linemen coming to the University of Florida.
Well, with offensive line, that's the absolute hardest position to recruit, right? Because in general, at high school programs, they take their biggest kids and stick them on O-line. They don't really teach them technique. They're not there because they have any particular skill set outside of the fact that you can't teach size. So then when you're recruiting, the whole concept is to grab as many guys as you possibly can and pray that you can teach some of them good technique, because it's a crapshoot, right? So you do need to almost oversign offensive linemen to make sure that you have a serviceable amount of guys to rotate through. And Billy's done that. I was talking to Shannon Snell last week, and he told me that he thinks they have 11, maybe 12 guys that'll make it in the rotation. That's a massive improvement over last year when Florida had a good first string offensive line. So I think that, the size and is that he's going after is the intangible here, right? That is the only part that he can't teach. So I like the model.